Welcome to Prudence Coaching. Hello students, welcome to your digital classroom. Today we are going to discuss about one of the most important topic of your language paper, that is Precis writing. Yes students, if you watch this video since the beginning to the end, then there is no doubt that you will get all the valuable tricks which will enable you to score full marks in Precis or summary writing. Here we will discuss from basics to advanced level and will give you a precise example and with its an exercise. So watch this video from the first to last and don't skip anything, otherwise you may miss valuable points. So let's start. In the beginning, we will discuss a brief introduction to the Precis writing. We should know what is a Precis. A Precis is a clear, compact, logical summary, and it is like a miniature portrait of the original passage. It preserves only the essential or important ideas of the original text. Now we will discuss about the objectives of Precis writing. The main objective of the Precis writing involves summarizing a document to extract the maximum amount of information, then conveying this information to a reader in minimum words. Number 2. It improves your overall writing skills. It teaches you how to express your thoughts clearly, concisely, and effectively. You learn to choose your own words carefully and construct your sentences in a logical and concise manner. Now we will know about the good features of the good Precis writing. Number 1, its clarity. There shouldn't be any ambiguity in a good Precis. Number 2, objectivity. A Precis should contain a pure reflection of the original text. Number 3, its correctness. It should have the fact-wise and grammatical correctness. Number 4, coherence. A Precis must have a logical order and be well knit and well connected. Next is completeness. No important point should be omitted to make the summary short. The next point is conciseness. It has to be presented in the fewest possible words. Next, there is linking devices. Yes, students, in a good Precis, the linking devices such as so, therefore, and, because, further, and so on should be used. Next is language. It is generally written in the reported speech. The next point tells us that it shouldn't be the copy of the original passage. That means in a good Precis, we will not be lifting the sentences from the original text. It should be written in the Precis writer's own words. The last is its title. In a Precis, there must be a relevant title. Without the title, a Precis is meaningless. So now we have discussed the 10 most important features of a good Precis. Now we will discuss about the word limit of the drafting Precis or summary writing. It tells us that the word limit for a Precis depends on whether it has been mentioned already in the question or not. Such as you can take the example in ICSE, it is mentioned that you will have to write the Precis within 60 words and you must not exceed the word limits. Otherwise, the writer is free to use any number of words he or she wishes. Generally, it is best to write the Precis at an average limit of 1/3 of the given passage. That means, students, if there is 250 words, then you can write the Precis in its 1/3. Next, there is the point which are saying that the things required for Precis writing. Yes, students, before writing a Precis, we should gather these things with us so that we can write the Precis without any hesitation, without any problem. And during exam, we should not ask our friend or classmate to give us the utensils, give us the essential instruments for writing the Precis. And if you do this, then the examiner will must judge us for doing that. So we should gather all these instruments with us during the exam. So now we'll discuss this. Before discussing the best methods of writing a Precis, we should know about the necessary things which are used during writing an excellent Precis. The things are pencil, eraser, scale, blue pen and black pen. So during exam we must have to gather all these instruments with us so that we can write an excellent Precis. Next, we will discuss the best approach for Precis writing. Student, this point is very much important for your exam, and these tricks will must ensure your full marks in Precis writing. So watch these points very carefully. Number 1, read the whole comprehension at least twice to understand it better. Number 2, read the question twice regarding Precis writing to find out exactly what is asked. You must know that a Precis is not the summary of the entire comprehension. Students, so first step was that you must have to read the entire comprehension for twice so that you can understand it better. Number 2 tells us that we should go through the question. As we will understand the question regarding this Precis writing, then it will be easier for us to sum up the words and sum up the points which will enable us to write an excellent Precis. Number 3, using a pencil, underline the part of the comprehension relevant to the question. Number 4, now using a black pen, put the heading rough draft. This is very much important, student. So using a black pen, you should write the heading rough draft and then make a grid of the number of words required. You will make the grid of 6 into 10 words, which will make it 60 words after finishing. We will give you this example, such as we have given here this rough draft script, which will give you the whole idea how to write your words. In this each grid or each cell we are writing the words, and we'll give you the example here as well so that you can understand it better. These are the columns. There are actually 7 columns and 11 rows. After doing that, you will just have to write your Precis within this each cell. Each cell will containing a single word, and after finishing your word will be ended at the last cell here. So now we'll discuss the next point. Number 5, write down the answer with a pencil in the fewest words possible. That means, student, here within these boxes you are writing the Precis using the pencil, because if you write this with the pencil, then if you make some mistakes using eraser, you can make the correction. That's why this is called the rough draft. So number 6, don't copy lines from the passage. It's very much important. If you copy the lines from the passage, it will certainly deduct your marks. So don't copy lines from the passage. Write the answer in your own words. Number 7, be careful that you have covered all the important facts in your answer. So after completing your Precis, you will not be having any time to revise it. So when you are drafting a rough draft, you will have to be careful about choosing your important facts, and if you skip any important facts, then the examiner will surely deduct your marks. So be careful about that. Number 8, you must not exceed the prescribed word limit. This is very much important for your exam, students. While you are writing an excellent Precis, then you should not exceed the given word limit. Number 9, edit your rough draft using eraser. So that's why I told you to write your answer in the rough draft using pencil, so that you can erase it and edit it according to your wish. Number 10, after edit, cut the points and rough draft with a single diagonal cut. That means, students, here I have given you the picture. This is the picture of the rough draft, and here you are writing these answers, and after writing or after completing the rough draft, you will just cut it like this, so that it can make the examiner understand that you have cancelled this point, and next you are going to make a final draft of these things. The next point is number 11. It tells us that put heading fair draft and copy your rough draft as it is with the blue pen. So now using the blue pen you're writing your final Precis with the heading fair draft. Number 12, you have finished Precis writing successfully. Now you have finished your Precis writing, and students, you have to practice as much as you can, because if you practice then your sense or skills will be developed, and after this you will be a perfect one who will drafting an excellent Precis. So follow all these tips and tricks so that you can ensure full score in Precis writing. Now we will give you a sample passage, and after reading this passage you will just pause the video and practice it with your own words, and after doing that you will check your answer with this given answer sheet, and will give you an entire Precis or enter example for the Precis writing so that you can understand it better. So let's read the passage in the beginning, and later we will give you the answer as well. But before looking at the answer, just write the answer of yourself and then check it with your answers. So now let's read the passage. There is an enemy beneath our feet, an enemy more deadly for his complete impartiality. He recognizes no national boundaries, no political parties. Everyone in the world is threatened by him. The enemy is the earth itself. When an earthquake strikes, the world trembles. The power of a quake is greater than anything man himself can produce. But today, scientists are directing a great deal of their effort into finding some way of combating earthquakes, and it is possible that at some time in the near future, mankind will have discovered a means of protecting itself from earthquakes. An earthquake strikes without warning. When it does, its power is immense. If it strikes modern city, the damage it causes is as great as if it has struck a primitive village. Gas mains burst, explosions are caused, and fires are started. Underground railways are wrecked. Buildings collapse, bridges fall, dams burst, gaping crevices appear in busy streets. If the quake strikes at sea, huge tidal waves sweep inland. If it strikes in mountain regions, avalanches roar down into the valley. Consider the terrifying statistics from the past 1755. Lisbon, the capital of Portugal, the city destroyed entirely and 450 killed. In 1970, Peru, 50,000 were killed. In 1968, an earthquake struck Alaska. As this is a relatively underpopulated part, only avalanches rolled down into the valley. This is the repetition. Only a few people were killed, but it is likely that this was one of the most powerful quakes ever to have hit the world. Geologists estimate that during the tremors, the whole of the state moved over 80 feet further west into the Pacific Ocean. Imagine the power of something that can move an entire subcontinent. This is the problem that the scientists face. They are dealing with forces so immense that man cannot hope to resist them. All that can be done is to try to pinpoint just where the earthquake will strike and work from there. At last, some precautionary measures can then be taken to save the lives of some of the property. So this entire passage has been written within 330 words. Now we will have to write the Precis within 60 words. But before this, we should have to read the question carefully so that we can understand it better. Students, we need not to write the precis for the entire passage. We just have to read this question. Here the question tells us, in not more than 60 words, briefly describe the earthquake as a deadly enemy of mankind. So now we need to just point out the important facts which are relevant to this question. Now, based on the above paragraph, we arrive at the following theme. That means we have chosen the facts which are relevant to the questions. Number 1 is earthquake strikes all without a distinction of national boundary or political affiliation. Number 2, the power of a quake is greater than that of a man-made weapon of destruction. Number 3, scientists are trying to find out means to combat earthquakes. They will find some way to protect themselves from earthquakes. Now, based on the above outline, we can make the following rough draft. Now, we are going to make the rough draft. But students, this information tells us that in the exam hall, using pencil, you will be able to mark the important points in the comprehension passage relevant to the given question for precis writing. So, students, we have given you these points particularly in an interconnected matter so that you can understand it better, but in the exam hall you yourself will be able to mark those important facts relevant to the question using your pencils. So now we are going to compose the rough draft of the precis. This is the rough draft and we have written it using black color. Now this is the complete table which we have already made for you. Here there are 7 columns and 11 rows, and after doing that we have marked it like this, and after doing this you are going to write the answer. So this is the final answer. Earthquake strikes all without the distinction of nationality or political affiliation. The power of a quake is greater than that of any man-made weapon of destruction. It strikes mankind without a warning. A modern city, when struck, is reduced to a rubble. Scientists are trying to find out means to combat earthquakes, to predict its origin, to save human. So finally we have done it here, and when we were doing it we have made some mistakes, and after correcting the mistakes we have finally presented this rough drafts. But within this rough draft there can be mistakes, so after finishing your rough draft finally, or after editing your rough draft, you will just make a diagonal cut, and after doing that you will copy it entirely into this final draft. This is the final draft. We have copied this entire rough draft after the correction here, and here this has been written within 60 words, so there is no problem, and this has been written in the final way. This has been written in the excellent way, and this will give you the idea how you will have to compose a final precis in your exam. So finally we have discussed everything related to your exam. Now this is the exercise that you need to do yourself, and after doing it you will just give it in the comment section so that we can make the correction of your answer. Or students, you can join our Prudence Coaching Telegram group as well. So in the group you will be able to download or upload your answers, and after uploading your answers our faculty will check your answers there and give you the best possible methods of writing precis there, and we will discuss this there as well. So this exercise tells us that in not more than 60 words you will have to briefly describe the damage caused by the earthquake and the role of scientists in its prediction. So students, just practice it well, and I hope that we have given you the everything that is related to this Precis writing. And I assure you students, if you follow these steps, then there is no doubt that you are going to score full marks in Precis writing. So all the best students, have a nice day. And students, the last request is that if you have been benefited from this video, then don't forget to like our videos, and you must share this video with your friends. So keep practicing, keep improving. Have a nice day students.